Hello and welcome to another D3 plus 2 battle report, and this is special because it's going to be the first 7th edition rather, or 6.1 I guess what it is really, rule set for Warhammer 40k. I got the rulebook last night and I've read through it. I won't say I'm 100% on the rules yet, so there may be mistakes, but we're going to give it a go, see if the subtle changes, very subtle changes to the 6th edition rules make any difference. I mean, the big one is obviously psychic. So anyway, we have 1250 points of Farsight Enclave, which we'll go into detail about in a second, against 1250 points of Nurgle themed Chaos Space Marines with a focus on psychic powers and also some other stuff to basically test some of the nuances of the new 7th edition rules. So, to go over things. The Chaos side is being led by a Chaos Sorcerer, Mastery level 3, and he has a Gift of Mutation, which gave him 1 extra wound. He also has the, the Invulnerable save. I can't remember the name of that item offhand. Anyway, I've already rolled for his powers. So as per the 7th edition rules, he gets the Force power as standard, which is what you cast if you want to actually have the instant death from Force wounds. Now, because he's Nurgle, he also gets the Primaris power from the Nurgle tree for free, which is Nurgle's Rot. And then just to test the new psychic trees, I rolled his 3 powers on the Malefic Demonology tree. So if I check my notes above here, he got 3 on it, which is Infernal Gaze, that's like an Armorbane, Fleshbane beam weapon. He got Incursion, which can summon various types of demons, but it's Warp Charge 3, and he also got Possession, which is also Warp Charge 3 and can turn, or not turn him into, but summon a greater demon. They're going to be very difficult to get off. Luckily, because the Tau don't have any Psychers, that might play into being able to actually cast that. We'll see, I suppose. Anyway, we also have 5 Chaos Terminators, Death Shrouds, but they're just being stand-ins for regular Chaos Terminators with Power Axes, and Combi Meltas this time. 4 Chaos Spawn, Mark of Nurgle. 3 Obliterators, Mark of Nurgle. 4 Bikers, Mark of Nurgle, 2 of which have Meltas. Also, the Sergeant there on the bike with the hair, he's been upgraded to a Chain Axe. He got a Gift of Mutation as well, just for the hell of it really, and he got that his melee attacks deal instant death, which is not bad. Oh, and the Terminator Champion, where is he? He's the one with the star on the front. That guy there, he got Shred on his attacks, because why not? We obviously have Binky the Forge Fiend. He may survive longer than turn 2 now that you need a 7 on the damage table to actually blow up a vehicle in one shot. Saying that, Tau have a lot of AP 2 and high AP weapons, high strength, so I'm not sure. We'll see, I guess. Troops. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular Chaos Space Marines with Mark of Nurgle, no other upgrades. And that is actually just 10 cultists. I know I've used my zombie models, that's because they're painted. I don't have any painted regular cultists, but they are just regular cultists, no upgrades. So that is the Chaos side. Right, so if we go over the Farsight side, Hammerhead, Disruption Pods, the Railgun without the Solid Shot, and Twin Link Smart Missiles beneath. I think he had 1 more upgrade, but I can't remember what it is offhand. Farsight, of course, is leading the army, and Farsight Enclaves have to take at least 1 compulsory Crisis Suit squad as the troop choice, so I have. They're equipped basically as you see them, so he's using 2 Flamers, he's using a Twin Link Fusion Blaster, he's using a Plasma Rifle and a Flamer, I think. I know it's not an optimal setup, but this is just for fun, testing out the 7th edition rules. Ovessa is getting brought because I brought Farsight, I can do that. He comes with 2 shielded missile drones as compulsory unfortunately, and has various upgrades as standard. 2 broadsides with 1 missile pod each. They're equipped basically as you see them. What's next? Pathfinders, 6 of them with a Shisui upgrade I believe. Sniper drones, just 1 commander and then the 6 drones. And then we have 2 squads of 6 fire warriors as troops. So that's technically 3 troops because the Crisis Suit team is also troops. Warlord traits, well, Farsight has a set one, he doesn't scatter when he comes in from reserve, and the Chaos side one was the Warlord has fear. So we'll be back in a second with setup on the table, and also what objective we'll be playing. Not going to do the new objectives yet because I don't have the objective marker cards, and I want to try and keep things a little bit simple. But anyway, yeah, let's get started with the first 7th edition battle report. So here we are at deployment, and I forgot to say that both armies, as per 7th edition, being played today are not unbound. That means they're battle forged, and it means they get a reroll to their Warlord trait if they want, and also their units can't be contested by unbound units. because in 7th edition everything scores. So we're playing Emperor as well, by the way, so that's one objective in each table half, or each deployment rather. So Binky and the cultists are defending this objective, which is kinda there, sorry about the camera angle. The Tau one is being sat on by scoring broadsides, even though it's not big guns never tire. That's going to take some getting used to. But yeah, so everything scores in a Battleforged army. In an Unbound army you can't contest a Battleforged, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter anyway, because I'm not playing a take whatever you like list. I am kind of sticking to the force organisation chart. So with that said, that's deployment. There is no night fighting, so it kind of behooves the Chaos to steal the initiative, which they are going to try and do right now. And they did not. So therefore, it will be Tau turn 1. By the way, the Terminators on the Chaos side and the Obliterators will be deep striking, and obviously Farsight and his Crisis Suit team are also going to be deep striking. So that's why they're not on the board yet. Anyway, let's get started. And at the end of Tau turn 1 there was a little bit of ineffective shooting, despite the fact there was no night fighting. That said, the broadsides fired their twin-linked heavy rear rifles into the bikes, as did the hammerhead. And now, thanks to the changes to Jink, you don't just get to do it, you have to decide ahead of the rolling whether or not you want to Jink, and then if you do, you can only do snapshots the next turn. Now these bikers are hoping to get in range to use their meltas next turn, so they don't want to be firing snapshots. So no Jink was made, and one got eviscerated by the hammerhead's blast, so he's just melted, he's gone. But that actually was the only casualty. There was wounds dealt, however. The sniper drones fired into the Chaos spawn here, and their cover was removed by marker lights. So that front one there took 2 wounds, so he's got 1 left. Other than that, everything else ineffective firing really. Binky was shot at by Ovessa, but Ovessa, despite getting to reroll 1s thanks to the Earthcast array from the Farsight Enclave, didn't manage to even land a hit, so it didn't even get to go to the new damage table, unfortunately. Other than that, the Fire Warriors ran up behind Ovessa, and Ovessa was originally a bit further back but got a 3-inch assault move with its jetpack, and also has a 3+ invuln from the Nova engine. And that's about it, so we'll go on to Chaos turn 1. End of Chaos turn 1, and I suppose we should cover the new Psychic phase to start with. So when you start a turn, I didn't do this for the Tau turn because there's no Psychers on that side, so it isn't relevant. You roll a die, and that's how many power dies each player gets. I rolled a 1, so that's 1 die for the Chaos side, 1 die for the Tau side to use to deny the Witch. You then also add an additional number of dice equal to the mastery levels available in your army. So my HQ there is mastery level 3, so that added another 3 dice to give him a pool of a total of 4 dice. I tried to manifest the, not possession, the other one, the one to summon like plague drones and whatnot, and because he's not got the demon special rule, any roll of a double equals the power of the warp. I didn't get a double, but I also didn't manifest the power, sadly. So nothing really happened. It is interesting though, having a psychic phase and being able to deny blessings and whatnot as well. That's very interesting. But for the most part, the turn itself, everything basically moved up. It's going to be a very much a case of the Chaos have to get to the Tau before the Tau wipe them off the board, essentially. That said, oh, the bike's turbo boosted, by the way. They kind of moved up, then turbo boosted ever so slightly, just so they're hidden behind the scenery a bit there. Binky moved out, and the only thing in range was the hammerhead, which he shot at. He actually got 1 pen through. The pen was only a 2, and on the new damage table, a 1 to 3 is just shaken. So the hammerhead is firing snapshots next turn, and it's also lost a hull point. That shouldn't be a 1, that should be a 2, but never mind, I'll change it in a second. So that's it, and as we go into Tau turn 2, we'll see if Farsight and the Crisis Suit team he's attached to come in. A 3. I can't remember offhand if that in the new rules is still they come in or not. I'll have to check that. So we'll see at the start of Tau turn 2. Tau turn 2 started with Farsight and his connected Crisis Suit team deep striking. His Warlord trait meant that they don't scatter. They went right behind Binky, and because they had a fusion blaster in there, a couple of plasmas hitting rear armour, you would think that they would kill a vehicle. It wasn't even a case of the new 7th edition rules saving Binky this time, really. One pen did get through, obviously, from the fusion blasters, because I mean there's no avoiding that really. It got a 3 on the damage table, but then I remembered that Binky has an invulnerable save and that actually saved it. But regardless, he didn't get blown up by Farsight or his team. They didn't go after the cultist because, well, I expected them to kill Binky and then next turn the cultist would be easy prey. Sadly that was not the case, but that doesn't matter because Tau has gotten first blood, or obtained, whatever you want to say, thanks to combined firing from Ovesa's drones, the snipers and the broadsides. The Chaos Spawn have been wiped out entirely, sad face. Which is a shame. And the Hammerhead, despite having to fire snapshots because of what happened last turn, got a 6 with its railgun and eviscerated another biker because once again the choice to jink was not made because Meltas want to hit next turn at normal BS ideally. So that about wraps up that turn. I believe there was nothing else other than Fire Warriors over here just running up behind Ovesa, basically using him as a shield. These Fire Warriors are just chilling out, expecting the inevitable deep striking from the Chaos side. Speaking of which, as we go into Chaos turn 2, by the way, in 7th edition it is still a 3+3+ automatic for reserves. So, let's see, we've got Obliterators. Oh, the Obliterators are not coming in. Chaos Terminators, they are coming in. So we'll see what happens at the start of Chaos turn 2. And at the end of Chaos turn 2, things are heating up a little bit. The Terminators came in, they wanted to land somewhere there to get good melta use on the broadsides. Unfortunately they scattered roughly next to where the Hammerhead was. They actually just shot their bolters into the broadsides, did 1 wound on the closest guy. By the way, in the Tau turn I totally forgot to mention Ovesa tried to use the Nova engine again and wounded himself. Didn't really matter for this turn, but I forgot to chronicle it. Anyway, the bikes moved up, the one surviving melta at the front there fired into the Hammerhead and got a pen, got a 5 on the damage table, but melta's AP 1, so that's +2, which brought it to 7, so it exploded. Luckily the explosion didn't hurt it. Clipped one Terminator but didn't hurt it. So that's all they did there. Oh, in the psychic phase, once again, rolled a damn 1 for how many power dice both players get. So the Chaos side only had 4 dice in total again, tried to do the same power, didn't manage to manifest enough points, got 2, needed 3. Thankfully didn't roll any doubles though, so still no perils. Still ongoing. Maybe towards the end of the game I'll try and do possession just for the hell of it, even if it gives up. Slay the Warlord, just for fun. If it looks like Chaos is going to lose anyway, why the hell not? That's basically it. Now, over here, this was a bit interesting. I actually forgot. I mean, I knew offhand, straight away, the normal crisis suits can't actually hurt Binky as long as he's not immobilized because their strength is 5, his front armor is 12. That's great. I actually forgot that Farsight's Dawnblade has Armor Bane, so I thought, well, I've just accidentally suicided Binky. Not so. Farsight got 1 penetrating hit through, but Binky's invulnerable save got a 6. So he's fine, and also 1 wound was done prior to any charge happening on him from just shooting, and then in combat he took 1 wound. I was going to charge with the cultists, but that would just be throwing them away. They might as well wait and see what happens. That was my thinking anyway. So that's it, and now we're going to go into Tau turn 3 and see what happens. And at the end of Tau turn 3, I think it is now, it was basically Operation Shoot Everything at the Terminators. So the Pathfinders used their carbines, the 2 Fire Warrior squads used their rifles, Ovesa and Ovesa's drones, and the sniper drones. They all fired into the Chaos Terminators, killed 4 of them. That last guy there is alive and he does have a combi melta, so he may yet make a difference. The broadsides did not fire at the Terminators because they wanted to fire at the bikes. The bikes opted to jink this turn, but that didn't save them, sadly. They're wiped out to a man, unfortunately, so the only thing in this half of the table that now belongs to Chaos is that 1 Terminator, unfortunately. Other than that, the combat went on. I don't have another crater handy, but Farsight got 2 pens through, 1 was a 6, his sword has AP 2, so that's +1, that equaled a 7, so Binky exploded. Pretend there's a crater right there where Binky used to be, sad face. The resulting explosion caught the cultists, but didn't actually kill any, weirdly. They did manage, however, to kill one of the crisis suits. So there you go, I guess, but they're now happy. They consolidated 1 whole inch, so they're basically just going to wipe the cultists off of the marker, unfortunately. I mean, it doesn't look like Chaos can win at this point, so perhaps it's now time for some desperate trying to summon a Demon Prince, but we'll see. So as we go into Chaos turn 3, we'll see if the Obliterators come in now. They do indeed. Maybe they should have been on the table from the get-go, who knows. But either way, they're coming in now, and we'll see if they can make all the difference. End of Chaos turn 3, and a lot of interesting stuff happened. Let's start with the less good stuff. Well, the Obliterators deep struck. They didn't scatter, which was the great thing considering how close to the table edge they are. I made them use plasma cannons this turn. They fired hoping to hit this clump of broadsides and sniper drones. 2 of the damn plasma cannons got hot. Luckily they didn't wound themselves, but still, the one that did get through took out 3 sniper drones. They passed a morale. They're still sitting there. That was very bad. The surviving Terminator tried to charge this squad of fire warriors, managed to survive the torrent of fire coming in as Overwatch, and failed his charge. I also forgot actually that they should have joined in because they were within range to use supporting fire, but either way. So, the important stuff. I rolled 5 in the psychic phase, so each side had 5 power dice and then plus 3 for my HQ, the Chaos Sorcerer. I tried to do possession. I perilled the hell out of it, but I believe it still casts because I got input. I can't remember what it's called. In 7th edition the Pearls table is different. It's called empathic something or other. If you pass a leadership test there's no ill effects. You don't wound yourself or anything. So I assume that possession worked. And possession summons either a Lord of Change or etc, but I have the model for Greater Unclean One, so that's what I picked, plus Greater Unclean Ones are uber. So within 6 inches of him, a Greater Unclean One is spawned, he then dies. I assume that gives up Slay the Warlord, even though the Tau's side technically, that's the word I'm looking for, technically didn't kill him, because this Greater Unclean One is not my Warlord. It isn't, even though it's called Possession, I don't think he's literally turning into it, I don't know. Another thing that I wasn't clear on in the 7th edition rules is when you summon a demon like this, can they move? Can they shoot? Can they do anything? Can they assault the turn they arrive? I couldn't find that information at a cursory glance and reread of the psychic section. If you know, please let me know, because I think it's fun being able to summon demons, so I want to be able to do it in the future, and to do that I need to be clear on the rules. But either way, I decided to play it that he couldn't move, so there was no point trying that charge distance over to Farsight. We'll see what happens in the, what maybe will be the final turn for Chaos, because unfortunately they're getting wiped off the board at this point. That said, we will now go into Tau turn 4 and see what they can do. I imagine they'll kill most of what's left, but we'll see. One slight addition, forgot to mention yet again, Ovessa tried to use Nova Engine again, once again wounded himself. And I'm going to do the roll for the next one on camera now, just because I want to see if something horrific happens. Oh, he actually gets it this time. Okay then. Right, back to the regularly scheduled turn 4 for Tau. And as expected, at the end of Tau turn 4, you can pretty much say that this is the end of the game. The Chaos side has almost been tabled. It's probably going to happen if the game continues, so just going to stop there. But what did happen? Everything at this table edged basically. Ovessa, the Pathfinders, the Fire Warriors, the Snipers, the Broadsides, they all fired into the Obliterators, wiped them off the table. This squad of Fire Warriors shot into the remaining Terminator, managed to force enough saves that a 1 got rolled, so he died as well. Over here, the 2 Crisis Suits fired their Flamers and Fusion Blasters into the Cultists, killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. The rest of them ran off the table, so there was no assault there. Farsight broke off just to challenge the Greater Unclean One, because why the hell not? He didn't actually do anything to it, and in return it got 1 wound off of him. Now, monsters' creatures are different now in that if you want a smash attack you can only make 1 attack, so I just did his regular ones, so they were strength 6, so there was no instant death. It's an interesting change. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I'm going to have to run a big demon list or something with lots of monstrous creatures to see. But yeah, we're going to call that there because these Crisis Suits are now capping the objective that was in the Chaos side. They're also getting Linebreaker. Technically the Tau have Slay the Warlord because the Sorcerer killed himself to summon the Greater Unclean One. And of course the Tau still hold their objective. And they got First Blood. So as expected, Tau still very powerful in 7th edition. But it wasn't an ideal list to face them, it was mostly just a list to try out some of the changes. What didn't get a test that's different in 7th edition is mixed weapon units, like for example tactical squads, Space Marines. You fire each weapon and resolve them separately, so you can't have flamers firing at bolt gun ranges, etc. You know, stupid stuff like that that people manipulated in 6th edition. That's a good change. I'm not sold on the new psychic phase, it's a bit complicated. But you know, once you do it enough, you get used to it. It's an interesting way of doing things. It's basically the only real difference between 6th edition and 7th edition, apart from a few rule changes word-wise, like Jinx saves and you know, that kind of thing, and Smash as I was going into. So yeah, there is more to come, and I am actually in the process of making a new army, so there should be more variety coming. I haven't used a Farsight Enclave army for a long time, so that was a change. But yeah, I'm going to be trying out a new army reasonably soon, maybe, we'll see. It might have to be a smaller points amount if it's going to be soon. But anyway, if you enjoyed, please do consider leaving a like. And also if you have any suggestions or have a better understanding of that kind of, that confusion we had with, does that count as first Slay the Warlord? Does the Summon Demon get to move? Does the Summon Demon get to shoot? I'm not sure, maybe I just missed something in the rulebook. I'll go check after I finished recording. But yeah, anyway, that's going to conclude this battle report. I hope you enjoyed the first of many 7th edition battle reports, most likely. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching, and ta-ta for now.